Hello, Karen here, Emerging Soul Tarot with your weekly Tree of Life Kabbalah read. If you enjoy, like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate that. So, as usual, I've pulled the three Sephirot, the top Sephirot. We've got Kether, Chochmah and Binah. These at the top of the tree here are the kind of supernal, they're cosmic consciousness really. So this is what is coming down to us. I've meditated on these and brought out some sense of what Spirit wants to say to us this week, for this week. So with Kether we have, very interestingly, the Ein Sofer. Now the Ein Sofer is from the Kabbalah, from the Tree of Life, and it resides above Kether. It's kind of like the first emanation. I mean, Kether is the crown, it's divine will, the first emanation of divine will. So this is before, it's not the actual absolute, but it's before the will, the kind of emanation. So we're getting some high level energy this week, people. And this card is a sense of moving on to your authentic soul path. Okay, and that could include the Oracle saying recognition, notable success or admiration, but a warning not to be distracted, and connecting on what, you know, focusing on what connects you to your heart and grounds you. Simplicity, being in that simplicity. So the divine love, the divine compassion, that sort of being in your simple truth. But yeah, this energy, the Ein Sof, is merging, as I said, from the absolute, the pure emptiness. Yeah, so it's a sense of Spirit asking us for receptivity. Yeah, because this is a magical energy, and having the receptivity to be able to embody and channel this kind of energy is what Spirit is asking. So we need to open to it and surrender to it, and put this wisdom from the upper Sephirot that's coming, or beyond the Sephirot, above our own opinions, and then we can really receive and benefit from it. It's an energy of sacred soul magic, so healing, deep fulfillment, so beautiful energy to be coming down. And we're just after the new moon in Cancer, so it's almost like Spirit's giving us that mystical kind of nurturance and nourishments. Then in Chochmah, which is wisdom, Spirit is, we've got the Knights of the Round Table. Okay, so can you see that? It's beautiful. This is almost like wisdom from this Ein Sofer, the second Sephirot, saying what we're needing to do, and it is, Chochmah is on the pillar of almost like an outgoing energy, action, you know. So Spirit is saying what we need to do is to imagine the people on a spiritual level that we would want in our round table to discuss with, to walk with, to support us, to nurture us, to guide us. So your spirit team, really, if you haven't got spirit guides, if you're not walking in that way, then this is about your, you know, those you look up to. You know, who would you have on your team? Who would you choose to guide you? So this week is about choosing those sort of higher wisdom allies to walk with you this week. So goodness knows what's going to be happening this week. We got Ein Sofer, we got plumb into that. And then on Bina, which is the receptive feminine, this is about commitment. We've had this card a few times. So this card's saying to us about safeguarding our hearts, and particularly the light in our hearts. So that spiritual light, that love, to be able to show up for life, yeah, every moment, engage with life as it is, you know, not forcing it, not trying to force change. So if something's difficult this week, sit with it, feel it, call on spirit, be receptive to whatever comes your way this week in terms of allowing it, yeah, moving with it, tuning into your intuition. So it's a real sense of going with the flow, yeah, and moving forward where we need to, but standing still when we need to. Kind of the thing with this card is really tuning into heart. So yeah, some incredible energies there this week for us. Spirit telling us to open, you know, really open to this. It's quite a high level energy that's coming down this week. You know, take counsel with either your spirit team, your higher self, or the wisdom of those past and present who can guide you and help you, and stay committed and focused, but don't push situations. Kind of allow them, excuse me, allow life to flow, allow the situations to flow. So I'm going to pull some cards. Oh, there we go. I was just about to say before it flipped out. I'm going to pull the 4th Sephiroth and the 5th Sephiroth and the 6th if it comes, which, yeah, and the 4th and the 5th Sephiroth are kind of, oh, they're really wanting to come out. Oh, we got too many there, people, so I'll put those back. Yeah, so I'll pull those for us. It wants to come. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And let's pull, yeah. Okay, wow, people. Beautiful, yeah, this is going with the energy. So in Hesed, which is the 4th Sephiroth, we have the card which I think best typifies Hesed, which is an outpouring of loving kindness, of boundless love, of, you know, all those beautiful things. And we got the 4 of Wands, which is actually, I've said loads of time, if you watch me a lot, excuse me, I see this as the chuppa, as the traditional Jewish wedding tent. So it's a sense of being open. So yeah, be open to that guidance, you know. If you're tapping into your spirit team, be really open this week, because you're going to hear perhaps in a way you haven't heard before. If you close up, if you don't keep that openness that's there, see how that tent, almost the chuppa, is open. There's a homecoming, so that could be a homecoming in terms of your soul coming home to center, okay, or it could be a literal homecoming for you or for your loved ones, you know, in terms of people returning to home. So literal home I'm talking about there, but I'm thinking more with these cards, it's spiritual homecoming, it's a going back to center. So maintain that openness, listen to your spirit guides. And in Gebra, which is, this can be restriction, Gebra is the 5th Sephiroth, it can be restriction like that Saturnian energy of boundaries, etc. But this looks pretty boundaryless, okay. It's the 9 of Cups. It's wish fulfillment. The guy looks very happy with himself. But I think I've said this before. We need to be careful with this 9 of Cups, because it's towards the end of a completion, and we were talking about not forcing things. So kind of don't be forcing that wish fulfillment and that road forward. And he's got his hands crossed. We don't know what's under that table, so we don't know how he's managed to get all those cups. And if he's holding a party, he's kind of guarding his cups. So there's a shadow aspect there. So we need to be, I think Spirit's saying, be very careful with the shadow aspects, yeah? Because, yeah, it's a not forcing, it's a staying open to guidance of your higher self, your spirit team, your spiritual guidance, whatever way you do your ritual. And within the heart we have this beautiful, it's a 6 Sephirot, Tiferet, the heart really, Venusian energy. We have the Page of Wands, so a sense of learning about our passions. I always see him with the pyramids of a guy who's passionate about his sort of ancient lineage in terms of vision of the past brought into the future. And it is this middle line with this very high upper energy coming down to us this week. So be open to learn about vision, you know, but don't be kind of haughty with it. Oh, that's the word, that's really old-fashioned. But don't be like, I know better, or I'm getting a better vision than you. We have to really keep our egos in check this week, because it may be that things are coming to us that start to set us apart, or start to elevate us. So a real time to, you know, keep that shadow, keep that ego in check, because I've got a real feeling it could kind of get out of sync. So I'll pull the 7th and 8th Sephiroth and the 9th and 10th if they plop out, but I'll pull the 7th and 8th, which is Netzach on this side and Hod on the other. So we're talking about Netzach, which is the action outward, and Hod is the intellect, but it's a receptive intellect, not that rational. It's using your mind to deal with the feminine, intuitive, visionary energy. So have a look what comes there. There's our Netzach. Oh, they're all popping out. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We've got the world sitting at the bottom, people there. Okay. So we had 3 pop out. 3 wanted to do their rounds, but beautiful ones. Okay, so in Netzach, yeah, Sun. It's that embracing, it's that turning towards illumination, yeah. So again, openness. If we see the openness of the wands, you know, the tent is open, you know, people can come in and walk out of that chopper. It's a place of union. The Sun, the child. So it's like having that childlike openness, the open-heartedness, embracing the illumination, embracing what this this energy is telling you. Wisdom, you know, the wisdom of the elders, the wisdom of your spirit team. So an openness and an embracing, and this is a beautiful line to have here. It's I mean, that's Leo energy. So it's quite fiery. We do have a few wands here. On Hod, which is the intellect, we have the 8 of Swords. So again, we need to be watching our shadow. We need to make sure we're dropping that blindfold in terms of our mental, you know, to untie where we're tied up mentally this week. we need to be committed, not trying to force, as I said, force, accepting life on life terms. So if you're feeling like this, you need to surrender to it. We can, I think I've said it several times, I do also see this card. I know it's an odd way to be seeing it, but as somebody who has almost, it is a card of surrender to me. I mean, it is the Eight of Swords, and Hod is the Eight Sephiroth, and it is about the intellect. So I do see this within the Tree of Life as a card of submission. She's like blindfolded herself and submitted, almost voluntarily tied herself to the path forward, foot on the ground, foot on the water. And the swords of her mind are downward pointing. They've been buried in the earth. So for me, that can be a surrender. So a surrender of the intellect, that kind of emotional, intuitive fulfillment. And yeah, heart and mind, you know, your heart and mind lined up. And we have the Page of Cups, you know, young energy, down the middle, yeah. What's interesting me here is this Ein Sophia, as I said, is above Kether. That's actually the Kabbalah energy, which is coming from above the first emanation. It's very high-powered power, yeah. So very interesting to me that we have both, you know, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which are, for me, the pages sit down in the world, so they're kind of a learning. So be really open to learning in terms of vision, passion, feeling, emotion, intuition, yeah. So, and it's quite a playful energy to me, that Page of Cups, but a real sense that Spirit is saying be open to learn, embrace this week, but watch that shadow, because there's this beautiful world on the bottom. Okay, so I will pull a card for the 10th Sephiroth, which is our world, but we need to be, you know, not set in what we've learned, beliefs, rituals, understandings. Be open to have those changed. I think Spirit is going to be very playful with us this week in terms of teaching the way forward. And you know, if you think you've got all the answers, then there'll be difficulty. Yeah, see, right from Kether, where this sits, there's that offer of a wand, offer of vision, an offer of passion, a passionate vision forward. Okay, that's sitting in the world under those wands. It's a new seed, and when we get new seeds, we need to really make sure our egos are in check, that we're not putting our own preferred, as I said with this commitment, our own preferred understanding of life and spirituality and how it is. I really feel we need to have an openness to what comes, because I've really got, with these learning and this higher energy coming down, I think we don't know, we don't fully understand what Spirit's going to be bringing. And I think this week is going to be a beginning of that new kind of energy, yeah. So it may not be new for everyone, but for you individually, it will be new energy, new vision, new feeling, new sense of emotion, intuition. Okay, so that's the seed being offered you. So beautiful cards. I'm going to grab us actually a soul card. I feel to pull us a soul card which has a word on it. I didn't have these up, but I really feel to pull one, so I'm going to pull one of these. Okay, it might be something shadow that you need to deal with, or a, yeah, Yeah, look, people, growth. We're going to grow. So it's expanding your consciousness and awareness. And it's like time tunneled, isn't it? So yeah, what I was saying, learning, new seed. Don't be, and I'm talking to myself here, we need to really watch that shadow, that allowing the ego to be in the driving seat, yeah? Because we're going to learn things this week. And continuing on for this week, but this is a weekly read. So we're going to start learning things that are going to make us grow, and we only grow into shapes we don't know what they are. When we're children, we don't know what it feels like to be an adult, yeah, and we learn, and we have to grow an awful lot, and I really feel Spirit saying that this week. So growth this week, people. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. All right, lots of love. Bye bye.